For 99% of my life, I thought that small talk was completely useless, it was a waste of time, and it was boring. In this video, I'm going to share with you why small talk is actually incredibly important on a lot of unconscious signaling levels, and how knowing this can benefit you so that you can leverage it to improve your success and performance in life. So I used to be like most guys, just very analytical, very numerical, and I just thought, what's the point of talking about the weather? That's stupid. I want to get results. That's wasting time. I want to, make more money or blah, 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 blah. Completely wrong. Turns out small talk is actually really important. Here's the first reason. Let's just get right to it. The first big reason is it because it conveys social intelligence through conscious and unconscious signaling. If you're sitting there and you can't think of anything to say, especially when it's a stranger, that's really bad because it shows that you don't have conversational skills, you don't have social context skills, which are really important. And, if that is signaled through, they're going to be like, oh my goodness, this person, I know how they're going to act in front of other people in social gatherings. I know how they're going to close that business deal or not close that business deal because this guy can't talk for crap. He can't even keep a 10-second conversation. So social intelligence is a big one, understanding what the person's saying, trying to get to know them. Second thing, it builds rapport and relationship. It's a huge opportunity to really get to know someone, to relate to that person. That's why most good conversationalists will try and start out with something that is related or similar and find common bonds. That's why it often starts with the weather, because the weather affects us all, especially before technology came about. The weather had a huge effect on survival, on food, on everything. So it's actually a really important and common starting ground for a reason. And I used to think, well, it was stupid. You want to avoid the weather at all costs, because I thought it was a boring topic. And arguably it is, but it is a good starting point. That doesn't mean you stay there for 20 minutes in a conversation. You move on to interesting topics. But again, really important for rapport building and building a social connection and a bond. And those are really important for professional relationships. If you have friends in high places, they can help you. They can shout you out on their blog, on their social media. They can hook you up with that business deal. You get the idea. On a personal level, you want someone who's your friend so that you can hang around them and they can help you, or they can set you up with a date. You get the point. So if you don't build that rapport, huge problem. Third big reason this is really important is emotional intelligence. It really conveys your emotional intelligence. That's small talk. Small talk, if you can effectively emote and understand the other person's emotions and feelings and all that stuff, that is communicated on an unconscious level. Probably the biggest, one of the biggest, most important contexts for small talk are man to woman stranger relationships, or when they're first starting to meet and they don't know each other that well, that it's maybe their first meeting, maybe they have mutual friends. It's really important because in those types of relationships, there's a lot of unconscious subcontext that the girl is picking up and not even registering on a conscious level. It's all biological and genetic, and she's assessing all this without even her processing it. She's on the back end, and some of it's on the forefront too. Like if you're really stupid and you're really dumb and you can't even say anything, she'll consciously register that. But some of it, she'll just have a feeling in her gut. It's her genes doing the work. And she's like, I don't like this guy. And it's more important than male to male, because for male to male small talk relationships, most guys, they don't really emphasize it as much. They're more analytical, they're numeric based, they're task oriented. So when they're talking to other guys, they may still have small talk, of course, but also it's sometimes just about, they may also not understand what's the use of small talk, because guys can oftentimes just be like, where's the steak? Where's that deer? Let's hunt them. It's very task and objective focused, based off the hunter-gatherer genes that we come from that gender pool. So still very important for both, any type of relationship, even if it is guy, because you're still building those bonds and that rapport. But you can kind of start seeing why small talk is really crucial. And of course, it's simply a starting point and opportunity to convey all these things and more. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be boring or that you have to stay on boring topics either. So there's your crash course on small talk. If you want more, this video was inspired by two people. They've both released incredible content on small talk as well in their own ways. So one is Ramit Sethi. He has written a couple articles and made a few videos on the topic. Really good stuff. Search it up, you'll find it. The other is Tucker Max via the Mating Grounds podcast. He's done a few videos on it and taken a scientific and biological and evolutionary biological spin on it to explain the scientific context behind small talks. He did a great job on it. There's a few podcast episodes on the Mating Grounds which you can search up and find easily, and that goes into a lot more depth, but I frankly think I covered it all in a very concise way if you don't want to listen to a whole podcast on the topic. And he also wrote a book called Mate that goes into more depth about the topic as well. So check those out if you want. If not, thanks for watching. Did you like this video? If you did, leave a like. It's greatly appreciated. Also hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet for more value bombs like this. Thanks for watching. Boom.